Alright, so once you leave the Knight Academy, you just want to more or less take straight lines down the path that Fi is trying to lead you. Make sure to pick up this stamina fruit by rolling into it, and then you want to roll off of this ledge because you want to be able to roll as far left, or not roll, but you want to be able to move as far left as possible while also jumping off the ledge. And once again, rolling is a way to counteract the ledge guiding system that this game has. So if you want to jump off this ledge correctly, you pretty much have to roll. And then once you do that, you just want to keep on rolling as far left as possible until you hit this cutscene right here. Not much happens during this. Once the cutscene is over, you want to roll towards the hanging section right here. You want to use, the jumping motion, or the leaping that the game calls it, to get across this ledge as fast as possible. Leaping will only go full distance if you don't encounter a turn, or like a slight angle change on the ledge, so you don't want to try to leap over like these corners right here. You want to leap in the spaces between them so that you actually get the full distance of the leap. And you also want to leap at certain points in like Link's movement cycle up here, because Link's movement is fastest when he's actually moving. I know that sounds kind of obvious, but like, so when Link, say during his animation is, doing this, where his hands are wide apart, he has a much higher speed value compared to when his hands are closer together. So you want to try to initiate the leap motions as Link's hands are coming closer together and he's not moving as fast, so that you don't have to go through that slow part of the animation between each one of these leaps, right? And then once Link finally turns the corner, you leap. Same thing up here. Once he turns the corner, you leap. Turn the corner again, leap, and then make sure more than half of Link's body is to the right of the ledge right here, otherwise you'll just fall off, which is not good. Target walk to the right, and then wait for the quarter-meter stamina refill. I only go down to an 1/8 here when sprinting, because the ground up here is steep enough that you need stamina to be able to run up it, so then I let the stamina meter refill until we get here, then begin sprinting. Make sure to jump over this gap so that you can get a waist hang here, which is faster than getting just like a wrist hang if you jump at a weird angle. You do not want to target walk here when going up these ledges, because it's way too easy to target the Keese that's going to try and follow you. And then here I use the free cam to turn the camera so that I can see exactly where I need to run for getting onto these vines. You don't want to sprint during most of this, unless you need to like run up the wall, of course, because you want to grab onto these vines with at least half of your stamina meter refilled, so you can leap all the way up the vines, which is much faster than like climbing up them normally, right? And sometimes the Keese that are here will knock you off the vines. That's just a thing to expect occasionally because of RNG. So, yeah, just know that. And then you just want to leap straight up to the top of the vines. If you have enough stamina up here to do a roll, make sure you do a roll over to where Fi is. Otherwise, I didn't think I had quite enough here, so I did a target walk and then sprinted to use up the rest of my stamina. Because your goal here is to just get Fi to move from this spot and the next spot that she goes to as quickly as possible. Once she's past that spot, it doesn't really matter how fast you move, because Fi will just move around to the front of the statue at that point. And so, yeah, the game's basically just going to wait for Fi to move all the way around there. And then you get this nice long cutscene, which we're just going to skip through. And then once you regain control of Link, you do one roll, and then here you want to use the whichever button you have mapped to first person to go into first person right as Link touches the loading zone here. Because going into first person is the way that we most commonly kill our speed going into a loading zone. Because it's just, it's the easiest thing to do, and it's much faster than like hopping into each loading zone, as long as you do it correctly. So one roll, go into first person right before you enter the loading zone, and then you will enter into the goddess statue with no speed.